Hi everybody, welcome to today's session podcast. We're going to be discussing about employee value proposition. My name is Sam. I'm currently a student at Niagara College, Toronto, pursuing human resource management. Today we have two very important guests, and I'm honored to have them in this set. We have Pastor Anderson, who is our father, our husband, our pastor, serving under Bishop J.J. Parke at Triumphant Church of God, and we have he's also a manager, and so we believe he's going to bring so much value to this interview today. And we have Brother Deron over here, who is a father, a husband, and also a professional engineer. And he also has a startup company and is a director in the company. So I believe their views in regards to today's topic is very valuable. So to start us off, we are discussing about employee value proposition. So for each of my guests, I want you to tell me what is an employee value proposition and why is it important in modern organizations? We start with Brother.
Okay. The concept is very novel and it's quite interesting because we're living in the 21st century.
Yes.
And employees have much more options. So value propositions are an attractive way that companies propose the package to their employees.
Awesome.
And I believe it is used to attract the best.
Yes.
And it is
the best
quite
possible
interesting.
Talents.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. So on to Pastor Anderson. What's your view of employee value proposition?
So it's basically the benefit package that companies offer in exchange for the work that their employees perform.
Yes.
And it really helps to brand the company as well as ensuring that you offer what is needed, relevant, necessary for your hirings.
Yes. That makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for that response. So how does EVP differ from traditional employee compensation management? Because initially it was all about salary, wages, things like that. How does it differ from the traditional?
Dealing with millennials first, I know Gen Z.
Yes.
You have to be creative because, people used to go to work for 30, 40 years at a particular company.
Yes.
And but people now are looking to travel. People are looking at doing side hustle.
Yes.
They say we live in the gig economy.
Yes.
So employers have to think of creative ways that they can keep and retain employees. So it offers employers a bit of flexibility where an employee may decide to work from home 3 days, or maybe work on weekends. So I think those things offers benefits for both the employers and the employees, it gives employees some amount of decision making while working at a company. They can do their gigs.
Yes.
On the side.
And balance. Yeah, it's interesting how employees treasure small things like a day or two working from home, things like that. It's actually very interesting. On to Pastor Anderson. What's your view on how it differs from the traditional compensation management?
Well, it's certainly different. I've been with Hudson for 25 years.
Wow.
Most people think I'm crazy with the new trends and how often people move from one company to the next.
Yes.
I certainly prefer the trend that's taken now, as Deron made mention of working from home, or instead of the regular or the rigid 9 to 5 every day, then that there's some sort of flexibility which include different shifts or do some of the work from home. I see it as a way better plan.
Yes.
As a father, that has affected me in terms of missing out on a lot of the more youthful years with my boys.
Yes.
Wasn't able to do a lot, wasn't as involved in, say, things like some of their high school activities or even some of their sports activity. Certain meetings I was able to attend because I have this rigid schedule. So the making the package workable for or to accommodate lifestyle, family and individuals it's definitely a step in the right direction.
That's correct. And that brings us to the point of work-life balance, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very important. Anyway, can you provide examples of what might be included in a strong EVP?
We've been talking about
Just beyond salary and benefits.
Also, for example, companies nowadays are offering employees 4-day work weeks, which is something that is generating a lot of interest.
Yeah.
When an employee can decide that let me do an additional hour for those 4 days and have a day off. That's an attractive thing, I believe. So that's one of the ways where companies are incentivizing employees without necessarily financially.
Very correct. Yes, Pastor Anderson.
Yes, some of the things I've benefited from are things like corporate insurance rates.
Yes.
Some sort of discount because you work for a particular company. Those are very beneficial, and they actually speak to needs that most, if not all, employers would have.
Yeah.
Insurance.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Vacation packages and stuff like that. Yep.
Very interesting responses. So how can a well-defined EVP help in attracting and retaining top talent?
Again, this because we live in a global world.
Yes.
Companies in China, in Australia are employing people in North America, in Central America, in Africa.
Yeah.
And so employees have to be very, dexterous in how they go about attracting people.
Yes.
And I think just the fact that there's more information out there, people, you have to be flexible.
Correct.
In order to attract the best and the brightest.
Correct. And retain them. That's true.
Yep.
Yes, Pastor Anderson.
Yep. Remember years ago I took a part-time shift at Walmart.
Yeah.
For some reason they liked me there and offered me a job. My concern was that they weren't offering much in terms of benefits.
Yes.
Or their package was just not so good.
Yeah.
And so I find that if certain things are not in the package, it doesn't attract me. Not only does it not attract me, I think even people above me, people who have options like the very qualified people, you have to make sure that there are incentives in the package that speaks to their reality.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I had two problems with Walmart.
Yeah.
One was the company I'm with. They offered me a corporate pension plan separate from CPP.
Wow.
They didn't do that.
Yes.
The second thing was that there were few incentives to shop at other places. They didn't have that network of stores or business that would give you some sort of discount in the shop. So those things stood out to me. I think the third thing was a mandatory weekend work.
Yeah.
And that was a no-no
Weekend.
for me. Yeah, it was a no-no for me.
Yeah, for sure.
So those things really attract people. The better the plan, the more the plan take into consideration people's lifestyle and commitment, like family and other things that you may do, the easier it is for you to get the best, in your recruitment process.
That's correct. So what role does company culture play in shaping the EVP? Company culture. Let's go into culture.
People talk. No, we have social media.
Yes.
And so people know about
the trends.
They will know that this company offers this as a part of the benefits for an employee. So the culture is lived out, especially in this 21st century where everything is online, where everything is front and center. So the culture will drive people to the company or drive people away from the company.
That's true. That's very true.
So it plays a very pivotal role. People leaving university won't even think of applying to a company that they have associates tell them that for want of a better word, sucks.
Yeah, don't apply here.
Exactly.
For sure. What's the Anderson?
Fully concur with Deron.
I agree.
The more attractive the culture, the habits of the company, the better the people you will.
That's very true. Like I'll give an example, like Walmart. I think Walmart has the worst reputation when it comes to how they treat their employees. As it stands now. Company culture is very important. I see that. So how can organization effectively communicate their EVP to current and potential employees?
think word of mouth is great.
Word of mouth.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very effective.
For sure.
Make sure you treat your workers so well. They'll tell people, here's a great place.
Yeah.
And of course, good old advertising, listing the things you offer.
For sure.
Yeah, those things really help.
Yeah. No, that's true because patterns make a good point. That because even if you use social media, people's experience will trump the advertisement. So you have to get the people have to buy into it first and foremost. And companies can also. What I think that companies are doing now, even the firm that I'm with now, they go on to university campuses. And they attract the talents there because the students leaving university can see what is being offered. So that's also a way that that they can sell the brand.
That's true. That's correct. Very well said. So what challenges might companies face when developing and implementing EVP? Some of the challenges.
I would say that one thing that you might have is that you might have 100 employees and the different offerings that the different employees may want, maybe just too numerous. And so companies might find it challenging to packet a package that suits the masses. So that is that has to be carefully curated, I would say, because you will always find one or two persons who might have wanted something else. So it has to be very delicately handled, I would say. That is one of the few shortcomings I can identify.
That's correct. Pastor Anderson.
To Deron's point, I think that's probably the major one. To find a cap that fits all is usually
that's a good way to cap.
Because everyone's needs is different.
But what you want to do is to ensure that you at least cater to the majority.
Yes.
The needs that are. So once we're able to satisfy the majority, I think that works well.
That's correct.
Usually works well.
So how can companies measure the effectiveness of their AVP?
If I kind of take that one first. Long service. Usually people stay around when.
Yes. That's very.
People's commitment to their job, quality of work. When your employees begin to act like they own the company, you know that you've got their interests. The entire package satisfy them.
Correct.
No, that is key. That is key, because also the chatter online also is a good way of measuring. People do market survey, and they always use companies as the yardstick. So if a market survey is using your company as a yardstick, that's a good measure to say to testify of the package that you're offering employees. Because, for example, I know in Canada here they publish a list of the top 100 best employers. That is a good list to be on.
For sure.
That's a good list to be on. So those are measures a company can use really to say
show effectiveness.
How good they are as employers.
That's correct. Can you share any success stories where a strong EVP impacted employee engagement and satisfaction, to say the least?
I don't have any personal success stories, but from observation, I think the long service thing, and then when you see a family-oriented culture, where people, a situation where people literally believe that where they work, because of years of service, being so satisfied that you're there, creates a bond beyond just being a worker. You literally create a family feel. Put it that way.
No, that is the story. For example, the company that I am with right now, the firm was recommended to me by an employee, and I would say that's a success, because the employee companies offer even bonuses to employees who refer people.
Correct.
And so there's an incentive for people to refer people.
Yes.
And that is a testimony of some amount of success. Where employees can refer people.
Correct. That's deep. Thank you for the answers. So what advice would you give to organizations looking to transition from traditional compensation models to more of holistic EVP approach?
Just care. You have to care. You have to recognize that one of the things is that traditionally people would have more support. If people have kids, they would have more support, family support. But now, things, daycares and stuff are more expensive. People are living further away from their immediate family, their extended family. So people need support. Companies nowadays are even thinking about having daycares on site.
Inside,
Because you have to be aware of the needs of your employee. Because if the employee comes to work and is constantly worrying about their child or whatever the issues that they are struggling with, so you just need to be aware.
For sure.
You have to be aware as a company. I would say.
Master Anderson.
Will you finish?
Give me 5 minutes.
Okay, somebody's gonna go to that, so okay.
Sorry about that. It's my bad. I lost track there. But things like work balance, compensation is important, of course. Stability of the company, in terms of not necessarily stability of the company, in terms of how often they let go of people. Those things I think matter. Offer people a job and promise that you'll have it. That kind of stuff I think is important.
That's right.
Good work relationship where there's a sense of respect and people are treated fairly. Maybe fair is a better word. I think those things are important along with the compensation, stability, even sometimes location and those things matter, but the work balance life and those things are important. And I think going forward, as we drift away from the more traditional things, that is the right thing to do. Move towards packages that speaks to the whole human or the family, everything are involved.
I agree.
Yeah.
So with that, wraps up our session and podcast. I believe we've gotten a thing or two about employee value proposition and how it affects the modern day organizations. We've had practical examples from our guests today, and so I'll say thank you so much, Deron. Thank you so much, Pastor Anderson, for joining us in the session.
My pleasure, sir.
Yes. And with that, thank you so much, and have a good day.
You can